Greetings, and welcome to another video. And for my first video of this year, I'm going to be doing what I do every year. I'm going to be showing you my entire weapons collection. And well, you see, before I'd like to go over the fact that two things. First off, I don't have my entire weapons collection with me today. Some of them are in storage, but the majority of it is here. Now, and the second thing is, I made numerous of these weapons, and if you would like to buy any of them, link to my business is in the description, the Backyard Armory. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, first off, let's talk ranged weapons. The first one is one of my homemade blowguns. This thing can shoot through into a plastic bottle from across the room. And as long as you got these darts, it works quite well. Of course, you do need to have decent lung capacity to use one of these, but I do have a decent lung capacity, so I have no problem with it. And that is the first weapon of the video. Next up, another thing I made, my homemade sling. Any Christians should know this, but basically, you put a rock or something similar in this pouch right here. You grab these two ends of it right here. You spin it really fast, and then you let go of one of them. I'm not honestly that good with it. Haven't gotten a chance to practice, but it's a pretty good weapon. And you don't have to carry your own ammo for it, since you can just basically use any rock you find along the way, or a lot of things really. Then, next up, something that you should have seen in my last weapons collection video last year, my Wrist Rocket Slingshot. This is a great weapon. Got great tension, pretty sturdy brace, and I always carry around a pouch full of steel pellets to use as ammo. It is a great weapon, but of course you need training to use it. But these things have a lot of power and can be insanely accurate. I actually saw a test on Deadliest Warrior. Guy managed to shoot a skull right in the eye from across the room. These things are great. And they're cheap. I mean, I got this on Amazon for 15 bucks. Counting the ammo. And last thing for ranged weapons, another thing I made, my PVC longbow. It's got a 40-pound pull, and it's a pretty decent weapon. Also selling this at the Backyard Armory. Now, I still haven't made any arrows, but once I make some arrows, this is probably going to be one of my primary ranged weapon for now, when it comes to zombie apocalypse time. And, of course, ranged weapons are important, because I can't really rely on the rest of my things here, because close range combat isn't always the best thing to go with. But with range, this is the last ranged weapon, so let's get into the rest. Now we're going to start small and get to the bigger stuff. So let's start off with my knives. I got noticeably more than last year. Starting with this. Yes, it's a spork, but it was made by Ka-Bar, so of course it has a knife in it. Now, I actually tested this in my indoor weapons testing video that I made a few months ago. It actually did pretty decently. Yeah, but I found the only way to use it effectively is to stab into something and tear. Because it's a serrated knife, and it's honestly not all that sharp. But it does work as a weapon, and it's a knife, so I'm counting it. If you disagree, I don't care. Then, of course, my trusty pocket knife. It's a pretty good knife, had for a few years, reliable, and it's decently used, as an X-Acto knife too, given that I use it for making several weapons. Really, that's all I have to say about it. Other than the fact that I usually do keep this in my EDC kit. Next up, this knife right here. I actually got this in a set. It's Ozark Trail. It's well, it's not. I'd say it's full tang, but honestly, it's a paracord wrap, so that's kind of a given. It's got these grooves in here, which make it good for woodworking, and these serrations right here, great for use as a weapon. But I like straight edge blades more than anything. I just got this as a gift. And of course, paracord. It's got a nice little loop here, expandable. Put your hand through it. Here, so you can't drop it. Won't drop it. And this is actually pointed out to me my Grandpa Smith, but given how thin it is, it actually feels a lot like a throwing knife. So, I might want to test that out eventually. But that's this knife. Next up, if you guys have seen this before, it's my Gerber. It's generally a work knife, but full tang handle, fixed blade, straight edge blade that I have regularly sharpened. It's a good knife, but as a weapon, could definitely be better. And it's not really that good as a fighting knife, but I have a knife that is. You guys have probably seen this in my survival videos, but my K-bar. This is actually standard issue for the US Marines and the Israeli Commandos. Well, actually, the Israeli Commandos have a custom one that's longer. But this is a great knife for fighting. It's a utility-based fighting. Great for defense, like this. Good for stabbing, slashing, thrusting, and if you know how to fight with a nice pick grip, trapping wrists. It's an all-around good knife, but I will say one thing: partial tang handle, stacked leather. At least I think it's leather. It's not. The handle sucks, but the blade is great. You'd be surprised, and it only cost me about $23. You'd be surprised what you can get at a military surplus store, and for how cheap. Next up, gonna go up slightly on the scale of weapons. Let's talk axes. Now, this came with that knife from earlier, but I got an Ozark Trail hatchet. It's honestly not all that good. Heck, the box even said that you need to wear safety goggles while using this because it might explode. But it counts, and you could probably throw this pretty well. I mean, it's not exactly going to be the best hatchet, but it's more than capable of getting the job done. And once again, this loop right here, you can put your hand through, tighten it, make sure you don't let go of it when using it. Very useful because dropping your weapon is not a good idea in a fight. But let's talk something better. My actual hatchet. Handle's solid hickory. I honestly don't know what kind of steel this is, but it's not stainless steel, that's for sure. I actually duct taped down the edge because because I keep it in my survival kit, for practical uses and an emergency weapon, and it keeps things from getting cut. believe me, this thing has cut up my food supply one too many times. So I rearranged the kit and taped this down. But all around, it is a good weapon. And just going to do this real quick. Sure. And I'm actually pretty good with it. I actually did have a video where I just do that for 10 minutes. I just haven't done it in a while. Now, next up on the list, again, going up slightly, you know what, I'll do this. This was one of the last weapons I covered in my last one, in my last weapons collection, because it was one of my favorites, and I still say that it is. Just, 1 second. Okay, I actually can't get this open right now. I'm gonna have to fix that later, but it's a e-tool, or a collapsible shovel. It's a good weapon, great utility tool, and standard issue for the U.S. Army. It's a good practical weapon, good quality. If they work, I'm gonna have to fix this. I think it also Ozark Trail, but I bought this separate from the kit from that set. It's a great tool, but I just can't get it to work. If you want to see this, see what it looks like, when it is when it isn't collapsed, I'd recommend just checking out one of my other videos where I've shown this. It's in most of my survival kit videos, and I did a video doing maintenance on it. But next up, my blades. First off, Ozark Trail machete. Now, this is not the best machete. I'm not even sure if it's a good one yet. But, actually no, it's not good. But it's got a saw blade on the back, decent straight edge blade here. It's got a good point for stabbing, so it can be used. So it isn't useless in a fight as a weapon. However, I'm not sure if it even has a tag. It's bending when I do that. Not entirely sure if it is any good. But, fortunately, this isn't my only machete. However, it is half of my blades. I'm honestly trying to save up for a sword, but right now all I have is these 2 machetes. One of which you probably have seen in my survival videos if you're a recurring viewer, which you might not. I have gotten a lot of subscribers in just a couple weeks. 100 subscriber special is coming soon, but for now, we got my normal machete. One of my primaries for the zombie apocalypse. This thing, I can guarantee is good because I have used this. Not really as a weapon, however, I have trained with it for use as a weapon. I've used it for utility purposes and just destroying stuff for fun, or to get off, work off stress or anger. But the blade I have personally sharpened regularly, and of course I have had to clean the thing. But my main thing that that you guys are probably interested in is the custom duct tape grip I put on the handle. I designed it for maximum, I put that on there to hold the handle together because it was falling apart, but this is a far better grip. And, well, it just looks better. This is honestly one of my best weapons. But I'm not going to spend so much time talking about machete. Although, I will show you one thing. Okay, that's enough. If you want to see more, I've done 2 videos on sword tricks. Actually 3, if you count my long sword tricks video, but I've only used this for the sword tricks videos. Now we got my big weapons. Starting with my 30-inch wrecking bar. I honestly wanted a crowbar like the Joker had, but this was all they had at Harbor Freight. It's 30 inches, solid steel, and it can do damage. I haven't tested against anything other than cardboard boxes, but it did do pretty well against those if I hit them right. They had too much give. It is honestly a good weapon and practical because I can do this for better grip. Yeah, I could stab with this side even if though it's not sharp. It could go for more impact with this part, which you can honestly get with a crowbar. Or I could use this to hook, grab someone's leg and pull to trip them, and then right on their face or neck. Decent weapon, but not the last one I got. This is my Cold Steel Brooklyn Crusher. Now again, I put a duct tape grip on it to improve the grip because polypropylene is not the best. The best thing for grip. I have tested this thing, and I can confirm that Cold Steel was right when they said this thing is as close to indestructible as you're going to get from a weapon. It is great. However, really I can't show you anything with it. But it's a good weapon, and as with the crowbar, it's versatile. You can hit like this, 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 or you could go a full power baseball swing like this. I think that's how it is. I don't play baseball. But this is currently my last weapon that I got. For now, that is. I'm still making more. I got more in storage. And I have made more, but sold them. Ultimately, this is my current weapons collection as far as 2020 went. I really wanted to make this at the end of 2020 instead of like I did last year, doing it at the start of 2020 instead of at the end of 2019. Hopefully, I can do the 2020 version during December instead of starting next January. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the video, and to all my new subscribers, hello. Really, that's about it. So, thank you all for watching. This is Random Man, signing off.